Alright, greetings everyone. Welcome to the Project Bring Me Life podcast. It is our 22nd episode now, and should be a very interesting one since it's the full moon. And we have Shantastic Shine Space, well, half of it. Now we have the whole thing. And so today we're going to be talking about crystals, what you can do with them, what they mean, how you can use them properly. And for that, we also have the beloved Nick Mielnicki on, so welcome back, Nick.
Greetings, everyone. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you again. So, this podcast is going to be, well, it is an awesome one, obviously, because we have all of you watching. We have us here. We have Nick Mielnicki. And so we do have a bunch of crystals that we want to talk about. And so I think I'll go ahead and give it over to Shantastic Shine because she's more educated about the crystals than I.
Well, we just had a couple of crystals picked out that we wanted to talk to you guys about today. We have some amethyst and citrine, jade and kyanite, labradorite, and then we also have the 7 crystals for the chakras and any crystals that Nick Mielnicki may want to bring to the table today.
And did you have any crystals that you wanted to talk about, Nick?
Yeah, I got a ton in front of me here. I just acquired some new ones. For me, I'm a Scorpio, and the Scorpio birthstone is citrine. And for me, I really like that because the yellow color is associated with the solar plexus, which is like the willpower and the desire to just do stuff, you know, and really put your effort into what you feel like doing. So I have a nice little citrine cluster that I carry with me a lot. And
that's beautiful.
When I meditate with this, or when I just relax with it and have it in my hand, it literally gives me energy similar to what some people would feel with coffee. So I like to just spend some time with this before I go on a walk or go work out or play an instrument or whatever. It just gives me that nice little kickstart. And I always have quartz on me, it seems. And quartz is just kind of an amplifier with anything. If you're feeling crappy and you have quartz, you're going to feel more crappy. If you feel great and you have quartz, you're going to feel more great. But pretty much for me, it's right now it's all about the yellow and red and clear crystals, and just the lower chakras, the grounding and balancing those aspects. Really desiring to be in the body and do things with the body, hang out with friends, create things. And amethyst that Shannon mentioned is always a good one for me. This is my biggest piece. Amethyst cluster.
Yeah. We have matching pieces almost.
It looks almost exactly the same.
Nice. I put this near my head when I go to sleep, along with quartz and some apophyllite.
Amethyst is a really good third eye stone, so sleeping with it is definitely recommended if you want to increase your dream state and be able to remember it more. So.
Totally. Put this bad boy right there. Go to I've noticed significant increase in recalling dreams and lucid dreams with using these crystals for bedtime, or even taking like a 5-minute meditation before you go to bed and just tap into that feeling. But crystals are just so great. Whatever you're feeling, each energy center on the body has its own specific attributes. And depending on the color of the crystal, they have their own specific attributes as well. And if you can match the color with that specific energy center, regardless of what the crystal name is or anything, you can just go by color, it will increase or balance or heal or assist or any of those words, that particular attribute or attributes. And I've noticed profound benefits just kind of going by that.
Yeah, that sounds quite beautiful, and I did enjoy the big amethyst. I think amethyst is one of my most beloved stones personally, just because it's so beautiful and I don't know, it just really resonates with me a lot. I like the color purple a lot. It's been with me since I started really fully embodying my own spiritual self and divine self.
I also have this piece of, it's like amethyst, but it's also called spirit quartz amethyst, and it's got these extra little clusters to it. Have you ever heard of spirit quartz or anything about that one, Nick?
Yeah, spirit quartz is something else. Just like there's some crystals that are just kind of really high frequency, high vibration, and they just really make that non-physical connection stuff really intense and really easy to tap into. And I think spirit quartz is one of those that helps that. So that and amethyst is just like a powerhouse.
Nice. Yeah, my spirit quartz actually, it looks almost identical to amethyst, so I kind of think it's like quartz mixed with amethyst.
Nice.
Pretty sweet. But you were saying about citrine too. Citrine's one of your favorites because it's not only a birthstone, but it's just also, it's in general a really good, it's a sunstone, and it's a stone that helps build self-confidence and enhances concentration and just really is like good for the mind. And you've really been like building your mind work and your communication skills and stuff like that. So citrine seems to be a really good one for that in general for everybody. So, I only have these two little pieces of it right now, but they're some of my favorites.
Nice.
They're beautiful too. Citrine was one of the first stones I said that we should talk about on the show, just because it's so pretty and beautiful, and it makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have another stone you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, actually, I have it on my neck here, and these two are the ammonites. So I have
Nice.
ammonite, double ammonite, organite here, or keystone. Sponship Enterprise made this, and ammonite. Every time I look at it, I just I start spiraling down, sort of in whatever thought that I have at that moment. So ammonite is a really good stone to go deeper into thoughts. So if you have something that you want to learn more about, you can have ammonite around you, and it just gives you that extra boost to go deeper into any subject that may be on your mind. So I would definitely recommend this if you like to learn, or if you want to learn something more deeply and understand it in a deeper sense. So ammonite.
It's definitely one of my favorites. I always think of the Fibonacci spiral when I look at ammonite, because it spirals inwards so nicely.
Yeah.
Trying to show it, but
What is can anybody explain further what the Fibonacci spiral is all about?
It's, I don't know too much scientific information on it. It's just mostly intuitive stuff, but like it all goes to the phi ratio, which is like there's a ratio where our arm, what is it? It's like the arm is the same scale to the shoulder to the elbow to the wrist to the fingertips, the individual knuckles and all that stuff, and through the body. Leonardo da Vinci talks a lot about this. If you want to do like a quick Google search, you can find out all about it. But it's like if a human body is to that specific scale, it's termed like it's very beautiful to the eye to perceive it. Like if the mouth is a certain scale, the nose, the eyes, etc., it's like the most pristine kind of DNA, whatever. But it's like it's this scale that goes throughout all of life. Flowers and plants and leaves are grown to this specific scale. You can see it in a pine cone. Is probably what people would recognize the most.
I believe it's generally just like the code behind every living thing in general. They even associate it with like galaxies, and that's why it has the same spiral feature and everything like that.
Yeah, totally. It's like you do one and then one again, and then you add those and you get two. So then you would do 2 plus 1 would equal 3. and then you would take that and you would add the one previous, so 2 plus 3 is 5, and then 5 plus 3 is 8, and then you just consecutively do that, and it goes on forever, and you can scale your art that way, you can create different harmonics for music, and using this scale in art, it's going to make it look much more, well, I shouldn't say much more, but it'll make it quite easy to make a beautiful art piece. Using that scale of music would make it quite easy to make it sound very good to you. It's crazy. So definitely look into it.
Nice. So a stone that I would personally like to share, I have two of them. The first one I'd really like to share is labradorite. I definitely love
nice.
Labradorite. Yeah, I have this nice piece here. On one side, it's polished, and the camera doesn't really do it justice, where in the light it kind of like sparkles blue, and it's got like a iridescent look to it. And the back, it's real natural. So I like to think that it's got both natural and polished properties, because some stones act different when they're polished versus raw too, and that's something I'm gonna look more into and do a what is one for the website. That way we can figure out exactly how to be using them. But labradorite, what it does is it's like a mystical stone, and it aligns the physical and the etheric bodies, and just generally it's used for protection and healing. It's good for banishing different fears and different insecurities, and it's also really good for helping get rid of psychic debris from just like previous connections. So if you're someone who connects a lot with other people's thoughts or feelings, and you're an empath or just a telepath in general, labradorite's a good one to keep around, because it helps protect you from those feelings and keeping it attached to you. So it's also good for disorders in the eyes and the brain, and relieves stress and regulates different things in your metabolism. So labradorite's just a really awesome stone to keep around, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, when you can shine it in the light at just the right angle, you can see all these iridescent colors. It's so amazing.
It's trying really hard, but the camera just, man.
There's no way.
I know, there's like no way to get how awesome it really is. I even have two different pieces of it here. This one here is completely raw, and it's got like this one spot to the light. It's just really blue and beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, I was reading the comments in the chat. Going back to the Fibonacci spiral, Samantha said she was measuring her arm to see if that's what her arm was measuring up to.
Did she get a measurement? Did she?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know if what I said was exactly correct, just in terms of what parts of the body to do. It's like the chin to the head is the same as like the chin to the nose or whatever, but it's all online to look.
Maybe I can get that up and we'll share it at the end, or we'll do a what is section for the website on that.
One crystal I'd like to point out is black tourmaline. It's really good for, I got a nice little pyramid shape here. It's really good for protecting and just kind of like having a nice space that can't be broken into. If you're really sensitive, like a lot of us are nowadays, just having black tourmaline and having it touching your skin, holding it in your hand or something, and actually the more intense you hold it, the stronger it's going to affect you with pressure. But anyways, having it on your person and touching your skin, it will allow you to be much less sensitive to the bad things, while still keeping your sensitivity open to be able to experience life in whichever way that you do in specific. But any kind of black stone really helps with protection.
Yeah, tourmaline's one of my favorites. It comes in a lot of different colors, but the black in general is really good for, it kind of like soaks up negativity and stuff like that, so that it doesn't soak up into you.
Yeah.
So the black stones are definitely a good one to keep around.
And definitely make sure with these protection ones, like Shannon said, soaks it up. You gotta clear it. You gotta. Seriously, yes.
Did you have something to say?
No, I just want to say that black tourmaline, I saw that one of the major places it's found is Sri Lanka.
CeeLo, I still have this. It broke though.
Really? Oh, that's a dark moss agate with obsidian.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I
was really
love
cool.
agates. Like any type of agate is something that I really enjoy having around. Any kind of agate.
Did you have a crystal you wanted to talk about?
No, you guys are. I mean, I do love crystals, but I feel like you guys have more of a passion for them than
I
me.
have so many here right now. I just want to talk about them all, but I won't.
I just brought all mine in from the full moon. They were gonna get snowed on. They had a little bit on it from overnight, but they were supercharged. So I'm like surrounded by supercharged awesome right now.
Yeah, when I brought them in and I was just like holding my hands over it, it felt like I just ingested like 300 grams of sugar. I was just like really wired. I'm like, oh, what? My heart rate was going up. It was crazy.
Personally, I think the snow kind of helped mine at least because they were warmer than I thought they'd be. I was kind of worried about them because I've never really put them out like that when it was supposed to snow. But the snow melted off of them like almost instantly, and when I picked a couple of them up, they were still so warm. So it was like the water it actually cleansed them too. I was just worried about some of mine that don't need to get wet, like my selenite and my kyanite. And you got to be careful with some of those crystals because some crystals just aren't supposed to be wet because they will crumble on you.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Samantha, let me just read a comment from Samantha real quick. She said that she's been using a lot of, or she's been using red jasper and tiger's eye lately.
Ooh, I have this piece of red jasper that I love.
Yeah, jasper is beautiful, beautiful stone.
I was looking for tiger's eye, but I don't actually have a piece. Do you have yours nearby?
My tiger's eye that I just got gifted it's not nearby right now, but
I just wondered. It's charging up. Let's see. Did you have another crystal you wanted to talk about for a moment, Nick?
Yeah, celestite. It's like a sky blue kind of deal, another pyramid shape. It's very calm and relaxing while still maintaining that amethyst kind of property type of thing. It's more, for me, it just, if I have a lot of thoughts racing or just I don't even know, it's like a really calming and clearing while maintaining a high frequency kind of crystal. Because normally when I use a grounding stone or a calming thing, it'll bring me into the body and kind of take away from the place that I was able to reach or the place that I was in terms of like feeling expansiveness. And using this, for me, it's like a grounding stone in the non-physical body. And I don't have too much specific information on it. I don't really research crystals anymore. I just go by intuitive feel, but definitely something to check out.
Cool. I just wanted to read a question that Ree had. Now, I would like both of your guys' input. She says, how do I recharge crystals? Do you have to do each of them differently? Because she really needs to recharge hers.
What I do is I have them by my selenite all of the time, so that helps because selenite is a crystal that has its own infinite energy, if you will. It doesn't need to be charged, it doesn't need to be cleared, and if crystals are near it or on it, I think it's better if they're on. It'll clear and charge to a small degree, but as always, the sun is the best for charging, and the moon is the best for clearing. It's kind of like that masculine, feminine type of deal. But the moon is good for clearing and charging. The sun is good for clearing and charging.
You got to be careful with that sun, though. With ones like amethyst and citrine, maybe not so much citrine, but amethyst, I know the sun will take the color away if you have it out there too much. So
oh, really?
there are certain crystals that you don't want to leave out in the sun because the heat and the sunlight will drain them. Amethyst is definitely one of them, so be careful with that.
Have you noticed a change in the attributes if the color changes?
Well, actually, what happens with amethyst is if it's heated too much, it turns into citrine.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, amethyst is the raw form of citrine, and citrine is when amethyst gets heated up or compressed or chipped off in some other chemical reaction is what happens, and that creates citrine. And that's why citrine's like a supercharged crystal, and it's also really good for charging and cleansing crystals like selenite. But amethyst and citrine, they work really well together at charging all your crystals. But if you leave amethyst out, it'll start to drain color, and first it'll go clear, almost like a quartz, but it'll still have like a purple tint to it. And once it gets heated up, then it'll turn orange. So yeah, so be careful on what crystals you put outside, because they'll drain their color. Not all of them.
Mighty Morphin crystals.
That's sweet. I want to do like a half and half on this big guy. Like put half in the sunlight.
Awesome.
That would be pretty crazy, actually.
Cover half of it up.
But you would have to, pretty much, for something like that, you would have to fire half of it. So you would have to, like, hold it in some sort of, like, claw and, like, fire only half of it, if even possible.
Like this. You get a lighter.
Well, that would work, too. Part of the reason I researched that was on this spirit quartz amethyst that I have, where the amethyst is really purple. To answer the question that we had, how I charge a lot of my crystals is I use candles and stuff like that. I was determined to try it. Look at him. But how I charge a lot of my crystals is I use the sun for some of them. Another good way to charge or cleanse them is certain kinds of water. Now, don't do that with selenite or kyanite or any of your more flimsy crystals that could chip or fall apart. But your nice solid ones, just giving them a good rinse off is really good. Now, it really depends on personal preference on whether you want to do them separately or together. When I did do a lot of research on it, I've seen people who will put them all in like a big water bath and then charge them all under a candle. Now, if you're worried that they're just certain crystals, sometimes their energies don't go together. Like quartz, like you said, will amplify anything. So if you keep a quartz really close to one of your crystals that you're using with intention to collect out the negativity, if you rinse them together and you charge them together, then they're probably going to work together very well, but it could also amplify the negativity instead of amplifying positivity. So like whatever intention you put into that crystal is really important to how you cleanse it. And you can change the intention by completely just when you cleanse it, just clear the thought or intention that you put into it, and then put something new into it and meditate with that crystal to really put its purpose into what you need it for.
I did have a question from Marie, if that's okay. I'm not from Marie, but Samantha. Sorry. Samantha asked if she asked, is ametrine, is what she called it. Ametrine, is that just as effective as using citrine and amethyst together in separate form?
Let's see. Give me 1 second here, and I have this awesome book, and I like to look up things that I'm not 100% sure on. That way I don't give you guys the wrong information. It's called the Crystal Bible, and it's by Judy Hall. I love this thing. I got it for Easter, actually, from my family, and it has helped me on my crystal journey immensely. Finding the ametrine that you mentioned, it says that it's powerfully combined amethyst and citrine. Ooh. So that's perfectly on. Good job there, Samantha.
Ametrine. That's nice. I was just going to say that. Man, the picture is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, the crystal that she's talking about, it looks about like that. This book just shows you pretty much exactly what it is and helps you identify it. So if you ever have a crystal that you're not sure of, if you can't personally purchase the book, if you want to shoot me a message, I can look it up and gladly give you some more information, because I love looking up crystals. It helps me learn. But to answer your question, it says that it's fast and effective in its action, and is particularly useful in long-standing illnesses, as it brings insight to the cause of the disease and helps connect it. So yeah, ametrine is definitely an awesome crystal. It's pretty much, like I said, amethyst turns into citrine, so it's like that middle form when it's got both the attributes of both crystals.
I know what crystal I want to manifest next.
Some ametrine works.
I didn't even know that existed. That's absolutely
me either.
That is one of the most beautiful crystals I've ever seen.
It's really funny that she said that, because when I was looking up amethyst and citrine as Nick was talking, both times I accidentally flipped to the ametrine. So just intuitively, the book knew that it needed to be talked about.
Yeah.
Look at me, Shannon. Look at this page.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for bringing
much.
that up, Samantha. That was a good question.
Perfect timing too, since we were talking about amethyst and citrine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Light is good.
Life is good.
But yeah, real quick, Ree, to charge your crystals, you can cleanse them underwater, put them on selenite. Like Nick said, selenite is awesome. I also, when I specifically pick crystals that I want to put intent to, I will just kind of, when I get a bath, I'll light a candle and sit the crystals around it. That way the candle, the energy from the candlelight itself is going into my crystals and the intention that I'm putting into them. And that's a way that I charge them with intent or purpose. So if I want to, if I have a headache or I want to heal something or someone and I really want that intention in there, I will specifically set up almost like a grid or not even a ritual, I can't think of the word, an altar, there we go. An altar with the specific crystals so that they can charge with the candle or I rinse them off. So those are just a couple ways to go ahead and charge your crystals or put intent into them from my point of view.
We got about a few more minutes to discuss a few more things, and then we're going to take a break before the cosmic energy forecast.
All right, let me share a really quick story about this rock.
Oh.
So I was gifted, this is just a regular rock, it's not a special crystal and it's painted. I was gifted this by a friend, and a couple weeks ago I was down in Ferndale with my friend and we were buying bagels, and I took it out of my pocket and I was holding it and I was like, okay, no big deal, just like average holding a crystal. And then I was like, I gave it to him. I was like, hey, check this out, because he hasn't seen it before. And I have him look at the different colors and the paintings and stuff. And as soon as I gave it to him, we just like both became silent and just like looking around. And I noticed that my sense of smell was so profound that it just made me stop and smell. And like, I don't usually have crazy sensory experiences, but I smelt money, I smelt all of the different kind of bagels, I smelt all of the different kind of cream cheese. It was like, I had like 30 different smells being smelt at the same time, and I was like, Mike, dude, like, are you experiencing this? And he was doing the same thing. He didn't know what was going on. But like, that kind of experience, that shared experience just from a random, gift, crazy.
That's awesome. Did you say who painted that or?
Bevan, some of you may know her off of Facebook.
Yeah, Bevan is awesome, and she's really.
She got it in California when she was having she was really feeling high frequency, and it just kind of was in front of her. Oh, that's
nice. Well, shout out
to Bevan.
Shout out to Bevan for the Heartstone.
All right. I had at least 2 more stones I wanted to share really quick that I think are really helpful, especially in this current shift that we're experiencing energetically. This is probably personally my favorite stone, at least that I have and that I use to help with healing. It's called malachite, and it's a green stone.
Nice.
Yeah, it kind of looks like broccoli, honestly, but it's really up close and personal because it's got so much glitter. And are you holding up one too?
Yeah, and I got a flashlight.
Nice, good job. But what it is it's a really good power stone. And the way I came across malachite was I have a book on different crystal meditations and how to use them for intent. And the malachite page, like the ametrine just did for me, it just kept opening up. And it really just wanted me to have a piece of malachite. So when I put that intention out there, I not only received a piece of malachite in the mail at the most perfect time, I also ran into a gentleman that was selling and trading it. And he had this really large piece, and I tried to buy it from him, and he wouldn't let me purchase it. He said I had to trade him for it because he said that malachite will find its owner at the most specific time. Now the other piece I got was heart-shaped, and earlier last year I'd lost my grandmother, but before that she was really sick, and I just kept calling out for a crystal. And to some people that may sound silly, but to people who really believe in crystals and their healing power, they know that the certain ones will come to them right when they need it. And malachite found its way to me, and literally the day she went back into the hospital, I received a malachite heart in the mail. And what it's good for is it soaks out negativity, and it soaks out disease, as well as it protects the person that you're trying to heal with it. So malachite to me is a really, really important stone, but it's also a really powerful one. So if you get your hands on a piece of malachite and it calls to you, or it pretty much becomes yours, make sure you cleanse it, because what can happen with malachite is if you use it for too many things, or if it soaks up too much negativity, it will start to emit it back at you. But when it's fully cleansed and charged properly, it will just bring you so much light, and it will help heal as much as possible. And it's just so beautiful and sparkly to begin with, and it's just
there we go.
The only thing
Sparkling.
with it is it is slightly toxic, especially in its raw form, which is the piece I have is a raw form. But it's kind of like a copper. It's got some copper in it, but it amplifies both positive and negative energies, and it grounds spiritual energy to the planet. So part of its purpose is to ground us in our spiritual form and to help with the healing process and to soak up anything that we don't need. So malachite's definitely one of my favorites, and just a piece that when it comes to you, or if it comes to you, hold on to it and take proper care of it, because it's a really important crystal.
Beautiful.
And,
Thank you.
Yep. Did you have any more you wanted to share real quick, Nick?
No, nothing in specific, but just kind of everyone take a second, well, not right now, but when you think about crystals, take a second and find what your goals are. You know, I want to dream more. I want to, manifest something. I want to ground myself more. And just go research it really fast, and then see whatever catches your eye. Go by the colors. That's a really good basic way to, start off, or to just find what works for you, and just go crazy. Because, I mean, I'm feeling so high frequency right now, it's like feeling like I'm on drugs or something, and I'm completely sober, and it's just because I'm playing with crystals. How cool is that? So just dive right in. You can't do it wrong.
Totally. I think that's why I'm probably so high speed and talking a little fast. I'm trying to slow down for everybody, but like I said, they're just supercharged, and I love them so much.
Oh, man. Ooh, real quick. Tibetan quartz.
Yes.
It's a specific quartz. It is potential consistently increasing in vibration, because in Tibet it's a pretty nice spot on Earth, and it's always increasing in frequency because everyone's always kicking butt over there. So if you have a Tibetan quartz, or if you're interested in getting one, you will consistently notice different meditations or changes or feelings from it, because it's constantly leveling up. So a cool one to get your hands on.
Nice. One of the last ones I wanted to share before I did a quick run through of what crystals are good for your chakras is kyanite. And I have a kind of smaller piece here. It's blue, and it's one that you don't necessarily want to get too wet, because it'll start to get soft and possibly break on you. But kyanite's really good for anyone that's really getting into crystals. What it does is it helps with attunements and getting your chakras all charged up and aligned. And it's really good for meditation and just tranquilizing your power and your personal spirit. And it amplifies high frequency, and it doesn't hold any negativity at all. So unlike the malachite, which will soak up and hold the negativity and then start to sort of explode with it if it gets too much in it, the kyanite will not hold the negativity. It repels it, and it encourages the person of it to speak its truth. And it's really just a good crystal to have to de-stress with and to help you on your divine path. So kyanite's another one of my favorites.
Beautiful.
Kyanite.
And then I know CeeLo wants to get over to the space weather, but real quick, I just wanted to share with everybody the different crystals. There's 7. There's actually multiple, but 7 main crystals that people use to connect with their chakras. And the first one I have for your root chakra is red jasper, and it's really good for your base and keeping you grounded, and just in general, it's a nice grounding stone. It's good for the root chakra.
You gotta write this down.
And then for your sacral chakra, what a good one is this one here. It's carnelian.
Nice.
Yeah, it's an orange stone. Ah!
There it goes.
It's really fucked up, guys. I'm sorry for that loud noise. But just in general, carnelian is good. It's for like your sexuality and charging up all those things. It's also good for fertility and stuff like that. And then for your solar plexus, and I know boys have a giggle. Anyway, so up to the solar plexus, we have, and it's just citrine, the one that we both love. That's your solar plexus chakra. And like Nick said, it's really awesome for everything. So. And
topaz, citrine or topaz, but it's both.
Yeah. No, that's definitely good. It's good to have alternatives too. And the ones I'm mentioning, they aren't the only ones for those specific chakras. Generally, ones in the colors that the chakras represent will help with them. But I've got, I think, 2 or 3 different chakra sets, and these are the ones that have been used. Now, speaking of multiple, for the heart chakra, usually that chakra is represented in green. So in my set, they've given me the green aventurine, and it's good for just in like the heart chakra and love and just balancing out all of those romantic feelings in general. But rose quartz and tiger's eye are also really good for your heart chakra. And then for your throat chakra, I've got this one here, and it is blue lace agate, I believe, or sodalite is also good for your throat chakra.
Soda, the drink, not
is
good.
Not
good for your throat.
Sodalite, it's a light blue stone, and it's really pretty. It looks a lot like lapis, which is usually the third eye stone, but my third eye stone is represented. It's by like a tiger's eye lapis mix in the set that I have, but generally the third eye stone is really good. Amethyst or lapis or anything purpley or blue is really good for your third eye. I have this piece of, it's called like Cucasilla or something, and it's really shiny.
Cucasilla.
And it's really good for your third eye too.
What do you think this one is?
Can't see it. Hold on.
Looks like lapis.
That is it. From what I see, it looks like lapis, but it could be brighter than lapis.
I don't even know.
It could be. I'll have to look that one up for you. I have another term for it, but I don't necessarily know how to pronounce it. Some of these crystal names, they're really hard to pronounce, guys. So I apologize if there's anyone that's higher up on the crystal food chain than me that can pronounce them better, and I'm tearing up the names. You can let me know, and I will correct it some other time. But we're doing
the
our best.
Crystals will haunt you in your dreams until you
I'm trying. And then lastly, I have the crown chakra. And in my set, it's represented by amethyst, but quartz and anything clear is also really good for the crown chakra.
Nice.
So that's the set that I have, and those are some of the crystals I would recommend to help balance out your chakras. And I use that heart set that I showed you. That's something I like to use when I'm doing Reiki and different things like that. So crystals are just generally awesome healing tools and just fun things to have around and really pretty.
Oh, definitely. So, the next thing we're going to do, we're just going to take a short music break, and then we're going to do the cosmic energy forecast, and then we'll come back and allow people in the chat room to join and speak a little bit about what they think about the crystals. So, yeah, everybody just stay tuned. We're going to take a short little break, stretch your back, do whatever you got to do, and we will be back shortly. All right. And wow. All right, and we are back. Once I get this straightened out, okay. All right, and we're back, and so we're just gonna enter the energy forecast.
Do you want me first?
Yeah, if that's okay with you. Sorry, we didn't talk about this before, but
It's okay. So with the moon we have currently, it's at 99%, so it is pretty full right now. If you haven't charged your crystals, since we've been talking about them so awesomely, definitely put those out tonight and let what's left of the full moon charge them up for you. The full moon is in Cancer for January 4th, 5th, and 6th. It ignites a time of activation generally. So emotions are currently high and they're rising to the surface, and just it's helping us tune into our innermost feelings and allowing for a more healthy flow of expression, and pretty much that's a key point right now, and that it's just waiting for our growth to come through and to move on with the changes as we try to find balance. When the moon is in Cancer, it's also just, it's kind of moving away from Gemini and the Scorpio and different things like that, so it's at an instinctive need for quietness and peace, and that's something that the Cancer really does for us. It helps with the feeling of belonging and safety, and also it motivates us under this influence to really just take time for ourselves and remember that nature is really something that will help keep you calm. I know a lot of people get really upset around the full moon sometimes, and other people just get really crazy. So it can have a really different effect on what kind of zodiac you may be or different things like that. So when it's in Cancer, it generally favors activities like staying home or personal awareness, home decor, and family get-togethers. So it's like a family bringing together home-based sort of moon. And I know we've done a lot of rearranging and house cleansing for not only the new year, but maybe the moon itself kind of like pushed us to do that. Yeah. And as our moon is going out of the full now, it's starting to go more into Leo, which is speaking to our inner child, and it's just asking us to keep a warm heart and to be open-minded, and don't get too prideful and keep yourself into petty situations. I know as a Leo myself, it kind of is. It's hard for us, and when the moon gets in Leo, it's even harder. Petty situations seem to really just be a big deal when they really shouldn't be. So as we move into Leo, it's going to create more of a creative spark in you as well, and just give you activities involving art and music or whatever your divine soul really calls out to you. That's a good thing for the Leo time. And it's good for risk-taking and recognizing what your heart truly desires. So as we move from the Cancer, which is keeping us all in our shell, you're going to start to open up during this moon cycle. So I'm really excited for this month's moon cycle in general. And that's all I really have for the moon update.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right, and I'm here with you, and I have your solar weather update for the week. And I didn't do one last week because we were on break, but I'll start off with this one. So I like to start off with the planetary alignments, and right now what we are seeing on screen is we got Jupiter in Virgo, Saturn in Sagittarius, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Neptune right now are all in Aquarius. So a lot of pulling on the Aquarius energy right now. All the Aquarius people might be feeling very crazy with all those planets in them right now. Uranus is in Pisces, and right now the moon just went from Cancer to Leo. So look out for the energy of Leo to be pulling strongly on our emotions. So the next thing is the solar flare update. As you can see, the very first day of 2015, we didn't have much activity at all. You can see here that nothing really goes past this C line, which is just a common or minor solar flare. So we haven't had any really big things going on, except I will just take you back to this article right here. And right now there's apparently one of the biggest sun spots on the sun that we've seen in 25 years. And you can see here on this picture at the very bottom, there's that darker spot on the sun. And what that is called is a sunspot. What it means is that it's a cooler region on the sun's surface. The magnetic part of the sun right there is quite weak, so it allows solar flares to shoot out even more commonly in those areas. This very slow computer. The article says, are we in danger of a damaging solar superstorm? And what I'll say to that is we can always be in danger of something like that. The fact that there's this gigantic solar flare or sunspot on the bottom of the sun, it won't change that fact. It could just simply be a gigantic sunspot that goes away quite soon. We haven't had any CMEs come out of it, so there's not really much that has occurred in that spot. And so I'll just take you over to the video to show you a little bit of the webcam that we have. And once my computer is finished loading, I'll get that up for you. And what this is a webcam. It's called the Soho webcam. It's always facing the sun, always capturing the sun. And you can see the sunspot is in this area right here. I've tried to find that picture on this website, but I can't find it. It says the data. It says that there's no data for the picture, so I can't look at it myself. But you can see here it's just a bright spot in the lower left corner. Other than that, there hasn't been much activity with the sun. No CMEs for the beginning of the year, so it's a peaceful time for us, and you've probably been feeling a lot of peace and calm within your own mind, and expect for that to be ramped up here shortly. The sun doesn't stay inactive for very long, so enjoy the peace and quiet. Read books and just do things that calm you down, because we're in a very calm state right now with that. So with that, I'm going to take it back to Shantastic Shine for her card reading.
Sure.
All right. And I'm going to get the picture up for you. Just one shaking.
All right. While he's getting that picture up, something I want to mention is if you're really into the crystals and you have more questions, I'm sure if you shoot us an email or just talk to either like myself or Mielnicki, or we have a couple other really good people with crystals, we can get you going with some insight on them. I sell jewelry that has different crystals, and it is really good to help you wear the crystals daily and have its attributes and helpfulness. And if you like to play with them and just have them around crystal grids or something, you should also look into, and hopefully we'll be able to do a podcast on that very soon.
So your picture is up.
Awesome. So for tonight's card reading, first we have the fertility card. It's made its appearance, and I think that's why I was using that word earlier. It's generally here to show us our growth is on the horizon, which we've all been feeling that major shift in how we're all growing, and this new year is going to be just pretty much really awesome for all of us. But to remember, we are the creators and the seeds that have been planted, and that when we're happy and comfortable and full of light, everything we create and everything around us shall be too. So really, what you put out is what you're going to grow. And all the seeds that we are planting already are ready to sprout, whether they're the abundance, prosperity, family, children, ideas, our own thoughts. Whatever we've been really putting our energy into are now starting to grow and be birthed into this new world. And what better time than at the new year for all this to happen? So we just need to be patient as we watch everything take root and grow, because things grow at their own pace. But just be sure you're nurturing the right things at this time and putting your energy into just things that are helping you and not bringing you down. Like a plant, if it puts its energy into the wrong leaves, it's not going to grow to its full potential. It's just going to stun its growth. It also represents femininity and Mother Earth, and just the beautiful maiden on the card. She holds the light to show that we can grow from its warmth and its love, and she's just emanating light from her heart chakra and her solar plexus. And Mother Earth is just here to embrace us on our journey, and that's what we've all been called here in the first place. But also, just as we interact with others around us, that we just need to remember to be gentle and to act from a loving space, and to remember where our heart center always lies. Which brings us to our second card. It tells us that we can rejoice in the celebration of the new year. And since we are so strongly growing together, that it's a time of merriment and victory is in hand. And at this time, we are doing what we love most, and by pursuing those passions and growing those seeds, that there is no limits to what we can achieve. When the energy of excitement and love is present, you can surely feel it moving in and around you. The number 3 also, it symbolizes unity and a time to rejoice in gratitude and sharing. Be with family, friends, coworkers, whomever may share the joy with you, not bring you down. It's the moment of fruition, and all of your dedicated work is really just showing itself. It's good to pat yourself on the back and dance just a little bit, because that's good for your soul. The last card is solitude, which may seem to be a little contradictory to the last card, because it's asking you to take time for yourself. But in this game, it really seems to represent that though we're all celebrating and starting the new year, it's really the beauty of all the growing projects. It's time for you to sit back and just do a soul check-in with yourself, check in with your divine guides, and it's very important to take that personal time and make sure your path is going just the way that you and your soul wants it to. And everything will slowly fall into place just right, as it always does, so you don't have to rush things to grow. Because everything, like I said, grows at its own pace. And it's important to clear your mind so that those frequencies may be received properly from your divine. And when taking the time for yourself, you may also discover something in your growth that you never imagined, and it'll start blossoming into your world. So to sum it up, and the divine is glad to show us that we're all growing so rapidly, but it asks us not to forget that we need to take that space for growth to continue and to not get caught up in our worldly celebrations. I know I personally have been really busy, and it's been hard for me to step back and give myself that time. And with everything growing so quick around us, I know I personally am wanting to be finished the next step to see the response and to share it with everybody. But I know that it's important to not get lost, and I'd like to remind all of you that too. So just remember to enjoy yourself and the world around you, because it could be later than you think. And that's all I really have.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Shantastic. So now we're going to go over to Nick Mielnicki for his intuition.
What I would like to speak about is just, you know, as always, ties into Shannon's card reading. It's so funny. What I've been experiencing is right before the new year started, literally last night of 2014, I just kind of had this big depression and really questioned everything that I was doing, the ways that I thought, who I was, all of this stuff. And it brought me to a place where it was just like, we can do all of this stuff, we can try really hard, but we need to be able to celebrate. We need to be able to get our solitude. And it's not trying to find that balance, because trying to get to a balance is acknowledging that an imbalance is possible. And when we are our divine aspect, when we embody divinity, we are not in duality. We are not good or bad. We are not balanced or unbalanced. We are who we are divine, and we are evolving at the most perfect rate that we are allowing ourselves to. So for me, it was just like really, you know, not limiting myself, being able to eat cooked food and being like, okay, that's not going to digest perfectly, because I was stuck on this raw food thing, because I was, you know, with me, I always try to do everything perfect, and it's always getting in my own way. And it was just like allowing myself to experience life without beating myself up and like, that's wrong, that's not the best. And one important thing that I learned since the new year started was, even if I think something is correct, even if someone is harming themselves, it's not my job to correct them. It's my job to do my best to help them learn what they need to learn, so they find the significance to change themselves if they feel the need to. You know, I have my life, you have your life, they have their life. It's not our job to correct everyone. It's not our job to teach everyone. It's our job to feel awesome, share awesomeness, shine everywhere, and lead by example. And, you know, just chill out. It's not, life is serious, but it's also not serious. We can have fun all the time, even when we're not having fun. And it's, you know, just, I find, myself included, but I find a lot of people, they just kind of get really stuck up in, you know, ascension. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. We can work hard, we can try our best, while still being loose and free. We can, you know, be very rigorous and use all of our willpower to advance everything that we're trying to, and we can do that without secluding ourselves to our own reality, to our own beliefs, to our own what we think is correct or incorrect. And for me, I found returning, well, rather, letting go of the person who I thought I was, letting go of the things that I thought to be correct, allowed things that I used to do and used to think about years ago to just flood back in. And all of those things coming back from the past are allowing me to enter into that divinity, because in the past, when I was carefree and I didn't know as much as I knew now, I was able to, kind of be that innocence because I was ignorant of a lot of things. And when I was doing things, quote unquote, incorrectly, I didn't know or feel the need to correct myself because I was just learning. And that feeling of learning has come back with everything, and it's just like life is a whole new game. 2015, nothing's going to be the same. Everything's going to change, and everything is going to get better. It's inevitable. So we can let go into that, and we can create these families that are waiting for us, and we can just have a blast, create a bunch of things, evolve ourselves, and just really enjoy the celebration of experiencing life, this incredible thing that we are here doing. We are non-physical beings in these physical bodies that aren't even like 90% open space, but I can still feel it. I can still, I can't go through walls and stuff yet, but it's just like this experience that we are having. Even if we sit in a room and do nothing ever, it's absolutely incredible just because of how it's orchestrated. It's amazing. So dwelling upon incorrectness, or, this person's mean to me, this person, these people, humans, war, blah, blah, blah. If we dwell on these things, as opposed to better ourselves so we can be more applicable in creating a reality that fixes those things, or where it's already fixed, we have so much more capacity to just experience the joy of this incredible life that we are all sharing together. And it's so wonderful that we're all coming together since, forever, but more so now and the end of 2014, and it's so amazing to share it with all you guys, because we're all teaching each other, and we all have our own strengths, we all have our own weaknesses, and when we come together, no one has any weaknesses, because everyone has strengths that are someone else's weakness, and when you collaborate, everyone is that strength.
Beautiful.
Well said. I've been seeing a lot of posts about making sure that you collaborate. It's important.
It really is.
So I'm going to post this link in the chat and tell anybody that they can join the chat and speak with us, give their thoughts on what they think about the crystals or anything that we said on the podcast. So I posted that in the chat room, and so hopefully we will get somebody to join.
While we're waiting on that, can I share a few crystals that people were giving shout-outs on my thread earlier?
Yes.
Awesome. I posted a status earlier on Facebook, actually, just to see what some of my Facebook friends' crystals' favorites were. I had James Scramlin, who said he really likes amber and carnelian. He says that it's life force and motivation that draws into these crystals. He likes to travel inside the crystal and use it as meditation, and it just sitting inside it figuratively immerses you in its energy, he says. Some crystals have an entity there, and I visited inside a clear quartz crystal, actually the first one I ever owned, and it had a very cool derpy dragon in it. David Dreamwalker, Diamond Heart, we had him on the podcast a few weeks ago. He says his favorite crystal is the celestial quartz. His second favorite is the Herkimer diamond, and I really like the Herkimer diamond too. Yeah, it's really good for increasing frequencies. Let's see. Jody from Peace with Me, she says selenite. She loves selenite, probably as much as you do, Nick.
Oh yeah.
Love selenite. Lepidolite, says Lady Liz. It helps balance out her mood, and Moonstone just makes her feel majestic. Let's see. Tom S. Glass shared a nice piece of celestial and skeletal amethyst also, and a nice chunk of fuzzy rhodochrosite and pyrite. So those are just a couple of crystals that some of my Facebook viewers wanted to share. And really call it out to them. So I was glad to get a response to that. It sees that it's not just me on my Facebook that loves crystals, and I'm sure there are many more. I kind of posted that a little late, so.
Yeah. All right, we got Samantha. So Samantha, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yay!
Hi guys,
Hey, Samantha.
it's so good to see you.
Hey.
It's good to see you too.
So I have a few crystals that you guys didn't talk about that I wanted to share, even though I don't really know much about them because they were all gifted to me. So
Maybe I can find it in my book for
yeah,
you.
that's what I was thinking. So the first one I'm just gonna show you because I love this one and I don't even know, like, it's strawberry obsidian.
Ooh.
I know.
Nice.
I'm just like, I don't even know, like, the name of
Can
it
we see it
alone
again?
just like
I missed-
melts in your mouth.
Yeah. That is bright.
Ooh, it's so pretty and pink.
Yeah,
That is beautiful.
I love it.
In here.
What was it called again?
Strawberry obsidian.
Strawberry obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I didn't know there was that type of obsidian.
I don't have a strawberry obsidian. Maybe. Hold on.
Okay. Apparently there's a lot of different kinds of obsidian.
Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of obsidian. I don't have a strawberry one, but I do have one that's called rainbow. That maybe it has some attributes, kinda. It says that it's more of a gentle obsidian with a strong protective property, and it just teaches you about your spiritual nature. It also is good for cord cutting, and old love gently releases hooks that others have left in the heart, so that you can open it for plenty of heart energy. That's about the closest I have. I've never seen a strawberry obsidian. It's really pretty.
Yeah,
and
no,
bright.
I know. When he sent it to me, I was just like, what is this?
It looks like it's glowing.
It does.
Yeah, it's
I think it's
super,
like
super
neon.
bright.
Beautiful. That's a keeper, definitely.
Oh, I know. Yep. And then the other ones were Budstone.
Bloodstone. I actually really like it.
Bud. B-U-D.
Bloodstone.
B-U-D?
Yeah, Budstone.
What do you do with it?
It's also called, like, African Jasper, I think. Is what it goes by.
Does
I
that
couldn't
make
find
you
my-
feel elevated?
Not really. I'm not sure what this one is. I
Right there is
couldn't find
what I-
any information on it when I looked.
Yeah, I can't. It's not in my book either. What was the other name for it? What kind of jasper?
African? Or maybe it's African jade. I always mix it up.
Let's see. What color is it? Let me see it one more time.
It is.
Green.
Ooh,
It
it's
almost
really
looks
green.
like similar to malachite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like a jade to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the jade.
Yeah, I think that's
It's
what I
supposed
meant.
to calm the nervous system and channels passion in constructive ways. It relates to the green jade and can be used to harmonize dysfunctional relationships. So it's very, very harmonizing stone for you.
Sweet. Thank you.
Nice.
That's what it connects with for me.
And then the last two, I always mix these two up, but I think the bigger one is Epidote.
Nice.
Ooh, that's nice.
Man, that's so beautiful.
I like that you have really not the kind of exotic ones that I haven't really did a whole lot of.
I know, it was so funny, like, when you guys were going through all yours, and then when I brought up the ametrine, I was like, what? I stumped, like, the crystal geniuses? It's like, none of you guys have heard of it?
I don't have epidite. Is that what you said? Epidite?
Epidote.
Epidite. Yeah, I don't really have it in here either. It's funny because, like, literally the only E in this chakra Bible is emerald. That's the only E that's in here. And that's what I would assume that is spelled with. I don't know if I could find it on here.
What was the other one that he had?
Oh, and then the other one is Unikite.
Unikite?
Mm-hmm.
I actually like Unikite. I use it in some jewelry. It's really good for releasing things. Let me see if my book has anything else. It's a stone of vision. It helps balance emotions and spirituality. It's good for being placed on your third eye. It opens and promotes visualization, psychic vision, and more. It provides grounding when it's needed and can also be useful for other meditation or psychic work. Anything else here? It's supportive in recovering from major illnesses, and it helps treat the reproductive system and stimulates weight gain where required, and where unrequired helps release it. It aids in healthy pregnancy and the growth of skin tissue and hair and other organs. So that seems to be a really good one for you.
Wow, very cool. Thank you,
So,
Shannon.
yeah. I looked up the epidite for you. I've never seen epidote. Yeah. Let's see. My screen's a loading here.
Nick's meditating. Oh no, he's not.
I grabbed a Faden quartz and a Herkimer diamond, and I put the Herkimer diamond on top of my Amethyst cluster, and I put my left hand receiving on that, and it was like I just smoked a bowl. I never felt that fast of a crystal.
A Bushman.
Let's see. Epidote. It's found in Austria and Alaska. It doesn't tell me what it's good for.
What is it good for? Absolutely. Never mind.
You heard it's healing.
It just says that it's very brittle and. Now I'm curious. It's one I don't know.
Iron source. What's the light system?
Yeah. What's your favorite crystal that you don't have yet, Samantha?
That I don't have?
Mm-hmm. Or that you would
It's
like to
like-
acquire?
My list is like a mile long at the moment.
What's the first one that comes to mind when you think of, man, I really need this crystal?
One that comes to mind. Probably Labradorite.
Yes, I love it. It's so pretty. Okay, so your epidote, it says that the meaning of it will bring you more of whatever you emanate. It follows then that if you are generous, it will bring you more bounty. If you're loving and kind, it will bring you more love and kindness. It works with your desirable qualities, and if you're negative, it will pull more negative towards you. So it's definitely just one of those what you reap is what you sow kind of crystals when you have it around you.
Yay!
What that brought to mind for me was it made me think of a crystal grid that I wanted to just mention, which is called the icosahedron, and it's used with the Merkaba, and it helps magnify any energy that you're putting into it. So that's why it reminded me of that.
Yeah, you guys will have to do an episode on crystal grids because I'm curious about that.
Oh yes, I'm excited for that. I'm really excited that we got to do an episode on crystals. I've been kind of waiting on it.
Yeah, Shannon, I was going to ask you if you wanted to talk about how to set up a basic grid, because I know you're all things the grid, you know. So I'm really
My grid.
called a grid connoisseur.
Yeah, I mean, I could try to set up a grid quickly, or I could do a different.
Well, just like use quartz in this way, put this in the center, put this at the top or the bottom,
Yeah.
or is there a top and a bottom? Make a spiral, you know, whatever.
When I make grids, I don't necessarily try to have a top or a bottom. I try to like feel the crystal and put it in the place that it's calling for. I like to balance things out, so if I have like a bigger crystal on one end, I do try to put one on the other end so that there isn't really a top or a bottom and it doesn't get too heavy or out of balance and all the energy can just like flow fluently. I have this quartz here. It's actually got like a rainbow encased in it, but a quartz wand or something like a quartz with a point is really good for connecting them. So when you, like, let's say you have a crystal here, and here, and here, it's good to just kind of like meditate on it and draw the energy and connect them in the space. And like he said, like Silo said, icosahedron, is that how you say it?
Icosahedron.
Yeah, and different sacred geometry symbols are really good to place them in.
Yeah, I would suggest printing off in a picture of your favorite sacred geometry piece, like a flower of life or a Merkaba, or just whatever that really calls to you. helps to print it out. Like David Diamond Heart was talking about how he has to have everything exact because that helps just make those energies even more intense. So if you
Yeah.
could like print out an image and then just put those crystals on each point where the line touches is a good thing to do.
That's
Yeah.
such a good idea.
I'm actually working on for Shantastic Shine for my website. I've got right now I have a lot of garnet that I'm getting ready to create crystal grid packages and like a little how-to about crystal grids, and I'm going to be making crystal grid cloth. So there's to wrap the crystals in, and also we'll have the symbols on it so you can connect the crystals and just pretty much like buy or trade a set and charge that up. I'm going to Reiki charge them for my packages, and that way you just like start your gridding and gives you a how-to.
So good.
So if anybody had any last thing to say, we can do that for another minute, and then I'd like to go to the mustache segment, and I'd like for Samantha, if you could stay on for that, that would be cool.
I get to play. Woohoo!
You want to put a mustache on?
Yes.
I don't know if we can because we have 2 people.
We'll trade off. Okay, so if do you know how to add the mustache?
I don't.
My
Okay,
mustache won't work. It won't load.
Really?
You're just gonna have to grow one, Nick.
Yeah, come on.
I can't, you guys. Stop making
Dragon-
fun.
Okay, Google effects, right?
Yes.
Yes, man.
Okay. Let's see if this.
Oh,
Keely
real
needs to
quick.
send me some in the mail.
Our new addition to the website.
Yeah, go ahead.
While everyone's getting their mustaches on, if anyone hasn't noticed, or they may not have because I just did it, we now have forums on the website. So you can go and start a topic and continue it growing, and instead of just having to chat, an actual forum.
Yay.
That's
So.
exciting.
Yeah, we got some threads going. I know I commented on the card reading thread, and we got one for crystals and meditation and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the forum. I love forums so much. Just like a lot of good stuff. It's not like Facebook where you post something and then you get distracted by a million other things. It's
Yeah.
just very focused. And what I used to do, I would go on a Star Wars forum and we would role play and we would take turns writing a story for our character. And it was amazing and it was so much fun. And I'm so excited for Project Bring Me Life to have a forum.
I'm pretty excited about it too.
It's gonna be amazing.
Love this mustache right now.
Yeah.
It's
I
itchy.
think you'll be able to bring in like a bit of an audience with that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually, I was gonna tell you beforehand, Samantha. So I'm glad that you were with us to hear that announcement.
Sweet.
Oh, that's such a cute face.
Okay, so this is the mustache segment, and Samantha got her mustache on.
I love it.
Someone has to draw one on me.
Oh, someone draw one on Nick. Can you draw one on Nick?
Nick's gonna draw it himself.
He can't load
I
it.
don't think
Yeah.
it'll.
He did.
I don't think it'll open.
Liz, I can try and draw one on it. Okay, hold your face still. Super still.
So he sits back and moves. And he's got a mustache.
Alright.
Yes.
Alright, next guy is mustache.
You're included.
Yay.
Okay, so Samantha, did you wanna begin since this is your first time? You wanna start off with the mustache question?
Okay. I must ask you a question. Okay. Since Shannon asked me this earlier, what is one crystal that you don't have yet that's like at the top of your list to add to your collection?
Mine.
I gotta think for a second.
Oh, like I said, Amethyst for me. Man, Amethyst is just so beautiful.
Ametrine.
I know.
Is it? It's not Amethyst?
No, it's Ametrine.
Amethyst, my bad. Excuse me. Pardon my mustache.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. I guess Lemurian quartz. I've been looking for a piece of Lemurian quartz.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd probably be.
Yeah, that one's on my list too.
You
I'd
have one,
probably
Nick?
Ametrine or a Lemurian seed quartz, yeah. I pretty much have a lot of the ones that I like to use, but those are some that I would use often.
A couple of the other ones I can't really pronounce, so I'm not going to murder their titles.
I know.
All right. Did you have a question, man?
Not yet. Go.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead, Nick.
So now that we are 1 week deep into 2015,
Yeah.
I would like to know one thing or a combination of things that has changed, that is the most significant change in you that is assisting in you experiencing life to a greater degree than you have ever before in your life. Can be like a simple word or whatever, anything that you care to share.
Yeah.
She's a cat.
I'll say the word grounding. Throughout most of my life, it's been very hard for me to get grounded and focused. So this year is really it's a superb year for me to be grounded and focused, like that pinpoint focus on this project, on Project Bring Me Life, and everything that entails. And Shannon has been helping so much I can't even describe it. So
He's gotten very grounded since he's been here, guys. Very grounded.
I know. Just look at my mustache.
Look at it. And the
You can't
crown.
have this.
The crown.
Grounded.
I think something that's been really driving me forward is I've been trying to eat a lot healthier. And Nick, I want to give you a shout out for that. When you were here, you were very determined to make this household eat healthier. And my fridge has been cleaned. Vitamin waters have been made.
Nice.
Things are happening.
Delicious. Delicious.
And going with the flow, that's one of my mottos more for 2015. That's something that CeeLo has been helping me with, is I like to have things planned and thought out, and sometimes that's hard for the divine to take over when things are too planned. So I'm trying to go more with the flow, guys.
Go ahead.
Excellent.
Your turn, Samantha.
Oh, okay. I think for me, the word would be transformation. Just because I've really been in kind of a period the last few years of just not by my own choices really though, just kind of stuck in a certain routine and way of living. And now that I'm not as confined anymore in the way that I was, I'm definitely able to move forward and start doing the things that I want to do. I'm going to be going to school and traveling a lot more, which is going to be awesome. We'll have to come see all of you guys.
Yeah.
Please do. Please come see us.
I'm definitely going to. And yeah, so transformation, definitely.
Beautiful.
Beautiful mustache too.
It's like you on you.
I feel like my
Yeah,
mustache is like an evil guy mustache.
I know.
The evil
Like
French
The
man.
antagonist of the
yes.
story.
That was beautiful.
Nick, do you want to answer your own question?
I kind of did in the thing I said earlier, but for me it was like, stop trying to fix everything, regardless of what I think needs to be fixed or whatever the answer is. Just shut the hell up and have fun.
I'm trying hard with that one too, so I feel you.
It's so hard.
Right? We just have lots of opinions. We just like to share them.
This ego has gained too many opinions. It needs to. But seriously, the very first day of 2015, it was like a switch was flicked, something changed, and I was a completely different person, and I just noticed everyone else was feeling so different.
It's funny
Awesome.
what that magical New Year thing can do to people.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, I can't even come up with a resolution that I want to do. Like I literally couldn't even get one. And then it
Well,
like
that takes my mustache
then it
question
just
away
like,
because I was going to ask you.
Thanks for asking. Do you mind if I? Did you want to ask that?
No,
Or not?
you can go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna ask everybody. Excuse me. I must ask you all a question.
oh, I didn't say that. Damn it.
What is the first crystal or stone that you remember picking up and actually feeling the energy?
Ooh, lapis.
Moldavite.
Yeah, mine was
Nice.
definitely amethyst.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. You said what one?
I think it was lapis. That's the first one that came to mind. I was like, what was my first crystal? Because it was a long time ago, but I'm going to go with lapis.
Mm. Beautiful. Mine was a quartz crystal that I dug up in Arkansas.
Nice.
Before that, I was like, oh, it's a stone.
Peridot's really big for me too. It's my birthstone, and I remember I always collected it, not just because it was my birthstone, because it's lime green and its energy is just very like high frequency and pretty. So maybe it was Peridot or lapis, something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Good
So
question.
I must ask you guys a question. I said it, so you can't get mad at me. What is something you want to accomplish this year? If not a resolution, what's one big goal you really want to accomplish this year?
I want to get more serious about my art. I've just started getting back into that, and Shan, you've been such a huge inspiration for that for me.
Aw, well, your stuff's really pretty.
Thank you. Yeah, I worked super hard on those, so I'd like to start doing that more like frequently. And you know, obviously with that will come growth and improvement the more that I do it. But so definitely my artwork. And I think that if you ever do the mural thing you were talking about, I'm totally in on that.
Dude, I'm trying to road trip all across the U.S. doing a mural in every state, including Alaska. We're gonna go up there and just rock it.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah, Sam, you really impressed me when I saw that you were making all those for your family members. I was like, wow,
Thank
I didn't
you.
even get anyone anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just kind of like, well, I don't really want to just buy something this year. Plus, I had no idea what to get anybody. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to paint. And I was really, really happy with how they turned out.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The fox you did for, I guess, your brother,
Yeah.
it really blew me away, especially since you didn't post progress pics on that one. Like, I had been watching your Raphael that you made for your grandma and your little tree and stuff, but that fox, its detail was just awesome. So great work there.
Yeah, that one stressed me out so much because I did it freehand completely. I didn't draw anything out prior to that. I just went for it. And yeah, I couldn't post the progress pictures because my brother's on Facebook.
Understood. Those are always usually the coolest projects, though, the ones you gotta hold in the most because you got such excitement in them.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, what's something you want to do this year?
Something that I am doing this year is returning back to the grounded state that I was in a few years ago before I started the spiritual journey. Me being a Scorpio, everything is extremely intense for me. And I used to be very grounded. I was working out all the time. I was making a bunch of money. I was having a bunch of friends, whatever. And then I got to the spiritual stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm immortal. Money sucks. This place isn't real. Oh, okay. And I just like dove off the deep end into that and kind of lost myself. And now I gained all the things that I gained, whatever, and I'm really enjoying really getting back into that and wanting to make money and wanting to be able to spoil my friends in all of the ways that they deserve to be spoiled and just, you know, take hold of the abundance that we all have and just really enjoy everything. You know, music, food, money, whatever, without losing that internal I am this that I've woken up into.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
It's all
You?
about balance.
Yeah. I really resonated with Nick when he said that he like jumped off the deep end, and it's just like something that I can relate to. Pretty much abandoning like all my family members and all my friends that I had in 2011. I just like left everything and everybody and thought I was gonna go live in Colorado, but I ended up coming back for a few years, and now in 2015 I'm just at this place where it's like I want to get grounded, and I want to. It's interesting because I do want to play the game that the society has right now, and I want to beat it and be able to implement
Yeah.
an even better society, or just one that is fair for everybody. Mainly, that's pretty much. I want to create a society that's fair for everybody and to implement it in the entire world. And a smaller one is to get a place, a legit place where we can set up and run it like a studio slash event center slash community center that we've been talking about, just like having people come and do meditations and workshops, and just somewhere concrete that we could keep coming back to, and set up like a really wonderful place with like a waterfall or something.
And a big gong.
And a big gong immersion, right? And then we'll invite like Linda G and everybody with the hug meetings and the universe building people and fireweed people. And just like,
Oh man, I
Like
can just
some,
feel it now.
I'll be rejoicing in celebration. I can feel it. Celebrate!
Totally, I just totally pictured like, you know, in how you can go like behind waterfalls and there's like hidden caves and whatever. I don't know if that's just in the movies, but
That's gonna be the front door. You gotta walk through the waterfall.
Manifesting it. We talked about it.
That's
It's awesome.
Yeah. I think everybody got their question in. Sweet. So now it's we're gonna go to the shoutouts. You can get rid of your mustache if you want to. Otherwise, you can keep it on. I think I'm gonna get rid of mine because it's distracting me.
Keeps bouncing.
I've
Thank
had
you.
enough of a mustache for now.
Nikki, you want to keep your mustache?
That's up to you guys.
This mustache more.
Okay. How do I do that?
Do you have an eraser?
Do an eraser? How can I erase it? I think I got it.
It's
Awesome.
fun. Let's go.
No,
Oh,
no
he
mustache.
doesn't have it. Okay, we're good.
Awesome.
All right.
Not used to that.
I see right there itchy when you don't have one.
All right. So for shoutouts, we'll just go from left to right, and so it'll be Nick, then Samantha, then Shannon.
Shoutouts to, man, I can't even pick one person. Shout out to Mike Mead, Bevan, CeeLo, Shannon, Cookie, Nick Bryce, Melissa, Linda G, Christopher Davis. I can't, like, everyone, seriously. Every person that has been in my life since I jumped off the deep end after I, you know, had everything grounded and I was like, I don't need this place. Every single person I met, Ashton, Bubba,
Nice.
Brandon, Liquid Sound Theory.
Nice.
I'll go on forever. Next.
Okay. Shout outs. Well, definitely shout out to you guys.
Aw.
And Shannon and CeeLo for just continuing to like believe in me and always inspiring me and just letting me like giving me permission to just like be me, you know? Like it's such a nice feeling to have that. It's not something that's it's something that's really new, I guess, in my life. So shout out to you guys and all of the Project Bring Me to Life crew. Love you guys.
We love you, Sam.
You might as well just start to be part of the crew. We love having you here every week.
Gosh, can I? I would love it.
We'll talk
Shout
about
out to me. Shout out to Sam.
it.
Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to you, Laura.
My turn.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and shout out some of the people that we just added to our page, because like a lot of the people I like to shout out were started to be mentioned. But some new people we have on the page I'd like to shout out. We have Drew Floria and Ricky Shade, who's an awesome artist.
Oh man, you guys gotta check out his art. It's amazing.
Dude, we kind of just came across each other on Facebook the other day, and his art is awesome. Sarah Hall's our featured guide, and she did an amazing first of the year full moon card reading podcast thing last night for Project Bring Life, and it was awesome. So I just want to give her a shout out. And a couple other people that are new and coming up. We have Sean Kramer that I want to give a shout out to. He's this Thursday, and Michael Garfield. I'm so pumped for that. It's February 3rd, and Tyler Eat. I want to give him a shout out. He's either at or was just recently at Alex Gray's house, who is another one of my all-time favorite artists. So those are some of my shout outs.
Beautiful. Shout out to Alex Gray. I know he's going to be on the podcast quite soon.
Dude, I can feel it.
Alex Gray.
I'm trying so hard. It's going to manifest. It's going to be so beautiful.
Shout out to Bill Nye. Shout out to Bill Nye. He's coming.
Bill Nye, the science
Can you
guy.
get on that, Nick? Can you make that happen?
Talk science with me.
I'll keep it in mind.
I did have somebody specific in mind, but kind of flew away, so it's not meant to be for right now. But I look at a picture of my family, and so I'd like to...
Over here.
Yep, oh, yeah. I was putting it. Shout out to my family,
Oh, nice.
my mommy, and my auntie, and my uncles, and my grandmas.
Aw, shout out to your grandma. She just took care of us for a couple of days, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, my grandma in Florida for a few days.
That was quite the drive, guys. Florida from Maryland to Florida. Long car ride.
Oh, man.
Shout out to my sister. I got to interview her, and I'll be posting that shortly. It was actually a really, really good interview, and she talked about spirituality and good stuff like that. So shout out to Erica.
Shout out to Erica.
Also, I did want to shout out Philosophical because he was supposed to be on this week, and he didn't end up. He wasn't able to be on this episode. So shout out to Phil, and I hope you're doing amazing, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you soon.
Yeah, Michael Garfield sent his love, so we hope that we can hear from you and get you going again on a different podcast.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, any last remarks from anybody on the podcast?
You're incredible.
Awesome. I did actually want to read out Ree's shout-outs, too. Ree wants to shout out All Souls and Love. So, thank you, Ree, for always being
I love you, Ree.
All right, and so there were no last remarks.
Check out the forums. That's my last
All
remark.
right.
Get on the forum. Just post anything so
Yeah.
that we can keep it going.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm pumped.
Careful.
Pumped.
Post stuff on Facebook, make a vlog, write stuff down, get excited about life. Do it, or I'll hurt you.
That's your future.
Just kidding.
So if anybody wanted to check out those forums, there's a button on our website, projectbringmelife.com, at the very right of the top bar. It'll say forums. Just click that button and it'll take you right to them. So thank you. All right, and sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you have any problems, since it is a new addition to the website, please feel free to contact us. Give us a shout out on Facebook, on the 24-hour chat. Email us. Let us know that if something's not working, or if you can't get logged in, or if you need help. I tried to tune all the bugs out, but it is new. So get back at me if there's anything that we need to fix or add.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, everybody have a great evening, and we will
Sean?
see you.
Thursday with Sean Creamer.
Sean Kramer will be on Thursday, the 13th. So we'll see you all on the 13th.
Sounds
Have a
good.
beautiful rest of the evening, and namaste to everybody, and we love you.
Guys.
Feel your full
Live long
moon.
and prosper.
Live
Crystals.
long and prosper.
Yes, a heart I can do.